Welcome back to DK Sports Radio. You're listening to The Steelers Show. I'm Chris Carter, NFL analyst here at DKPittsburghSports.com, here with NFL beat writer Dale Lolley in the house. Steelers Show, back in action, doing our thing, and it is NFL free agency time. But before we get into free agency, we got to talk about, Dale, our good friends at MyBookie.
It's tournament time.
MyBookie.ag is tournament time. March Madness, people. If you want to make money online, you know how to do it. Go to MyBookie.ag, your number one online source for sports betting. They cover all the sports. Now that football's over, you can look at basketball, hockey, and baseball season's right around the corner, y'all. Spring training is going on right now as we speak. MyBookie.ag does great on your desktop, your phone, your laptop, whatever, you name it, they do it. They also have that great promo code DK Radio, and you get a 50% bonus on your deposit. MyBookie.ag, you play, you win, you get paid. Now, Dale, there are a lot of people getting paid right now in the NFL. Tremaine Johnson, as we speak this moment, he just got paid $15 million a year by the New York Jets.
And yet Le'Veon Bell
He's not worth it.
Is not worth $14.5 million.
He's not worth it. We need to go get somebody. He doesn't deserve this money, Dale.
As I laid out in my grind on Tuesday, he going into this free agency period, before everybody started going crazy with the signings, Le'Veon Bell was the 40th highest paid player in the league. 19 of the guys ahead of him were quarterbacks, which is understandable.
Yeah,
but that also means that 20 other players were not quarterbacks.
Right.
And that is not understandable.
But also, you got to think about 19 quarterbacks. Who are these 19 quarterbacks? Because I guarantee you most of them are not nearly the caliber of Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees.
Yeah, you're talking about the Derek Carrs. You're talking about Blake Bortles, guys of that nature. Andy Dalton. A lot of guys.
Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. So it's all relative. The cap goes up every year, and so you have to pay star players. To have star players, the first thing you want to do is draft star players. The second thing you have to do is then pay star players. So, I think that's all. You can talk about how you wouldn't do it and how you don't think the Steelers should do it. Well, guess what? They do.
Yeah.
And they want to sign him to a long-term deal.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing. He's a superstar player. And with all these other people, like, for example, Kirk Cousins, he got paid $84 million fully guaranteed for 3 years from the Vikings. Now, I understand the Vikings have a great roster. They just needed a franchise-type quarterback and not a Case Keenum to lead them into the future. But here's the thing. Kirk Cousins had a losing record on a different team. You don't know if he's just going to fly in here and mesh with your squad. The Steelers do know that what they have in Le'Veon Bell. So this isn't like they're stabbing into the wind here and just saying, we hope that this works. This is a guy that knows in their system he can be elite and the best player in the league.
And the thing is, Chris, in another year, Ezekiel Elliott
is going to get paid $14 or $15 million a year by the Dallas Cowboys. And then about 2 years after that, Leonard Fournette, David Johnson. I mean, all these guys are coming up. Le'Veon Bell is getting ready to set the market for what teams are going to expect at running back, and that's going to put a hurting on some people's pockets because the Jaguars, like with Leonard Fournette, they're a team right now. They paid Blake Bortles big money. They're paying Calais Campbell big money. Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Bouye.
They just paid a guard big money.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I forgot about who was the guard? I forget the name.
He's a guard.
Yeah, right.
He's a guard.
But you're
they're
right.
paying him almost twice as much money as David DeCastro.
And they paid their center Linder last year, got a huge deal. They're going to be up against the cap. Eventually, they're going to have to let some people go. But
much like you're saying right now with the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, exactly.
As good as the Seahawks were, and they had their run. They had their 2 or 3 year window where they were really good. But then you had to start paying Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Then you had to start paying some of those star players, and once you start paying them, they better live up to those contracts. Otherwise, you're letting them go, you're trading them, you're getting rid of them, and you have to start rebuilding. The Steelers' rebuilding years have been 8-8.
Yep. That's the worst that they've been in their rebuilding years, and that's something historically. I think since like 1970, or 1975 or something like that, the Steelers have the worst year of any team in the NFL. I think their worst record in that span was like 4-12. Every other team's had a worse year, and since Tomlin's been here, their worst record's been 8-8. Since Cowher's been here, their worst record was 6-10, and that only happened twice. The other teams, they're tanking. It happens, and everyone's gonna say, "What about the Patriots?" Well, we'll see what happens to the Patriots when Tom Brady leaves and they're completely
I've been covering
depressed.
the league long enough to remember when the Patriots stunk.
Oh, well, really stunk. Like we're bottom of the barrel.
1-15 stunk.
Mm-hmm. And it took time for them to dig themselves out of that. But, I mean, even teams right now, the Jaguars, they spent 10 years digging at top 10 picks because they were just so bad. You know, the Browns, they keep missing on these top 5 picks. The Bills, you get teams like that. That's really missing in the draft. Those are the teams that are – and remember, those are the big spenders often in free agency, teams that miss like that. The Steelers don't miss like that because they're one of the best drafting organizations, maybe the best drafting organization consistently over the past several decades in the NFL. So that's my rant. But
I didn't know where to jump in there.
Right, yeah. But yeah. So right now we got more show coming at you. We'll be right here after the break. But we're gonna break a little bit more about players that the Steelers should be looking at in free agency.
It's time to cash in on non-stop sports action with MyBookie.ag. They have in-game live betting on nearly every sporting event, plus MyBookie.ag will match your deposit with a bonus up to 100%. With decades of expertise and no-hassle payouts, you'll experience the greatest customer service in the business, guaranteed. Use promo code DKRadio to activate your bonus of up to 100%. Call 844-900-BETS or visit MyBookie.ag to open an account. Sign up today.
Miller Lite is the original light beer, and we'll always brew it to have more taste, with only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. Because we believe that if you compromise on taste, you can taste the compromise. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis, 12 fluid ounces. Less than 1 gram protein, 0 grams fat.
What I want from my public accounting firm is big ideas.
But I don't want to lose the personal attention.
My company needs global capabilities.
From a firm with local ownership.
And I want to work with industry experts.
Who take the time to understand my unique challenges. And that's what sets Schneider Downs apart. Expertise for the most complex business issues. With the service you need every day. To learn how our big thinking with a personal focus can help your company, visit SchneiderDowns.com.
If you're one of the thousands of Western Pennsylvanians who love to get outdoors, then you need to check out this amazing new website, stepoutside.org. Hi, I'm Dan Kovacevic of DK Sports Radio. I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I know about the outdoor life that's available to all of us in Western Pennsylvania. Learn where, when, and how you can go camping, hiking, hunting, take part in power sports, shooting sports, water sports in your local community, across our region, across the country at stepoutside.org.
In Pittsburgh, we bleed black and gold and love our city. Born in Pittsburgh and now celebrating 130 years in business, Henny Jewelers is proud to be your premier jewelry store. Whether it's choosing that watch you've always wanted or you're searching for the ring that was made for her, trust Henny Jewelers. Visit our store on Walnut Street in Shadyside to see our extensive inventory of designer engagement rings, watches, and one-of-a-kind jewelry. For more, go to hennyjewelers.com and follow on social.
Embarrassed by that stained carpet in your office? Tired of looking at your dull, dirty floor? My Floor Needs is here to fix that. With years of experience and 24/7 service, My Floor Needs offers stripping and waxing, carpet, tile, grout, and concrete cleaning, as well as polishing and buffing services. Call 888-67-MY-FLOOR or email info@myfloorneeds.com for a free estimate and get your floors looking like new again. Whatever your floor needs, call 888-67-MY-FLOOR.
Does your company ever miss its sales goals or struggle getting new business?
Is it tough to hire or to give reps the right tools?
Hi, I'm Dan, and I started Engaged Prospect right here in Pittsburgh to help companies like yours.
And I'm Sam. We're helping companies hit sales goals and grow their businesses.
Think of us as your inside sales team.
Our clients are experts in their fields. We're experts in inside sales.
Give us a call today at 412-715-5151.
Or visit us online at engagedprospect.com/DK.
It's been 50 years since the Summer of Love, but if you're not performing as well as you'd like, check out NEDforless.com. I'm Eric Cushy of Curtis Pharmacy. Don't pay premium prices for the little blue pill. So Denafil, the same active ingredient as in Viagra, costs 80% less. NEDforless.com. All we need is your physician's name. We do the rest. Free shipping, too. NDDforless.com. Curtis Pharmacy, Western PA's Better Way Pharmacy. CurtisPharmacy.com.
Welcome back to DK Sports Radio. You're listening to The Steelers Show here with Chris Carter and Dale Lolley. And The Steelers Show is brought to you by what's always bringing our Steelers coverage here at Henny Jewelers. Henny Jewelers, your jewelers on Walnut Street in Shady Side. Henny Jewelers, your jewelers for life. Now, Dale, getting into free agency, of course, the Steelers' two primary concerns that people are talking about addressing, and we're going to hear about it until the draft is done and probably still after that, is inside linebacker and safety. Now, there's some guys out there, of course, at inside linebacker. One guy that's already signed pretty big, but there's some guys out there that you feel like the Steelers should target. Let's talk through the candidates and why or why not the Steelers should target these different guys.
Well, I think the best guy available right now who fits their needs with what they like to do and fits their kind of profile of what they like to sign is Avery Williamson for the Titans. He's a guy, he just turned 26, so you're going to get him coming off of his first contract. He's still young enough. He's actually played in a 3-4 defense under Dick LeBeau, so he has an idea of what is going to be asked of him here. Now the question is he going to cost too much?
Right.
And that's the thing with Avery Williamson. When you saw Anthony Hitchens from the Cowboys, who is an outside backer but will shift to inside backer for Kansas City, sign a deal worth $9 million a year.
Woo!
That kind of sets the market very high for the inside linebackers. And I think Avery Williamson, being a young guy, may get a little bit more than that. May get more than what the Steelers are willing to offer as a free agent.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that people got to remember is that there's other teams in play here, and they got the teams that we talked about. They got the $70 million, the $80 million in cap space, and they can come in swinging big bats and saying, "Look, we're taking this guy, we're taking that guy, we're demanding what we want." The Steelers are rarely that team because they most likely have their key players in place. They're just looking to add on that one additional guy, and it's tough to go out and get that guy in free agency. So yeah, those top guys are probably going to be gone. Avery Williams, he's a guy that everyone's looking at. But who's the guy down the list? And mind you, let's be honest with ourselves. The Steelers are not looking for the super-duper all-pro. I mean, everyone's looking for the super-duper all-pro inside linebacker. But they have the big hitter guy in Vince Williams that can play downhill and can stop the run. And we've talked a little bit on this show about them bringing back Lawrence Timmons because he just got cut by the Dolphins, as everyone expected. But Timmons and Williams aren't the prime coverage inside linebackers, and that's what they really need because they're missing that. They're missing that with what Shazier brought. Of course, no one's going to cover like Shazier, but you need a guy that can at least run with the tight ends, run with backs out the backfield, and be that guy. Who is that person if you're looking that's going to be affordable for the Steelers?
When I look at it, I look at Gerald Hodges from the Saints. Now he's a guy that came off of his initial rookie contract last year, and after being. He's bounced around a little bit. He's been with the Vikings. He's been with the 49ers. For the 49ers a couple years ago, he had a really good year, almost 100 tackles, a couple of sacks, some interceptions. He's a guy who was a college safety at Penn State who kind of shifted. He ate his way or grew his way into being a linebacker, but he still has some of those safety skills.
If it was me, I would have eaten my way.
But I think, he went to New Orleans last year, and they didn't use him a lot. So I think you can get him kind of cheap, and I think he gives you a guy who can run on the inside, who's certainly an upgrade over Tyler Matakevich or Sean Spence.
Dale, you would be an upgrade over Tyler Matakevich.
I don't know about that. I don't run as well as I used to. But I look at him and I think he could be a guy that could certainly upgrade their defense. I know people were throwing names around like Preston Brown from the Bills. I'm sorry. He's Vince Williams. He's a Vince Williams clone.
Yeah.
If not slower. He's a classic 4-3 middle linebacker. That's not what they need.
No.
They need a guy that can run and cover. So then you start looking at some of the safeties, and there's some guys out there who, if you start looking at it, could this guy be kind of your big nickel safety? Kamal Ishmael from Atlanta is a guy who is a former college safety who's kind of bulked up a little bit since he's joined the NFL. And they drafted Keanu Neal to kind of be that guy as well.
Out of Florida.
And so he's a guy that could be your kind of coverage guy, your jack of all trades in the nickel and dime packages, which is really what you're trying to upgrade there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Especially, they got rid of William Gay. He was kind of the guy that was their jack of all trades for a little while. You're thinking maybe Cameron Sutton could be that, but you're a second-year player that saw less than half a season of experience last year. You want to make sure you have a vet in the mix somewhere. And is Kamal Ishmael? He's not going to be a guy that's going to command a whole lot of money in the market, right?
Right. I mean, you're talking about a guy over the last 4 seasons, 224 tackles, 12 pass defenses, and 5 interceptions, basically playing a linebacker spot.
Okay.
Playing that William Gay spot in the nickel and dime. So he gives you some versatility there, and he gives you the ability to take the ball away, covering tight ends and backs out of the backfield.
Sort of like how the Patriots use Patrick Chung.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Okay. So let's back up even further. Let's look at this. If the Steelers wanted a free safety, not an in-the-box type of safety, is there a guy out there that would be in the affordable range that they could get and at least be able to contribute somehow to the defense?
Well, the 2 of the guys that I had on my list that I put out over the weekend, Bradley McDougald and Tavon Wilson, have both already signed.
Oh, goodness.
They re-signed with both of their teams. Pretty reasonable deals as well. Jarius Bird's a guy, he's probably too old. I think the Steelers might check him out just to see if he's got anything left. Because he didn't play a lot last year in Carolina.
He used to be the man back in the day.
But a guy that I think is kind of intriguing is Terrence Brooks from the Jets.
Okay.
You're talking about a guy who at Florida State he could flat out play. He never really got a shot. He was drafted by Baltimore. Then he went to Philadelphia last year with the Jets. But he's had 3 interceptions the last 2 seasons as a sub-package guy. He ran a 4.42 at the scouting combine when he came out.
That's impressive.
So that gives you a guy who would be a core special teams guy and also a guy that can kind of run back there. All he's lacks thus far is kind of the, when he went to the Jets last year, then they go out and they draft
Malik Hooker.
Yeah. So, sorry for your luck.
Yeah, right, like womp womp. Okay.
Yeah. It's just kind of been like that for him wherever he's gone.
So that's the thing, I guess. They got to find that guy that's going to be able to plug. Because also, here's my thing. I think, honestly, the Steelers are looking at in the draft, if they pick up a guy, if the top 4 inside linebackers are off your board in that first round, you got to look at a player like Justin Reed at safety to say, you know what?
Or an outside linebacker.
Or an outside linebacker like Lorenzo Carter maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that you can't you can't put yourself in a position where you're reaching for a position out of your
and they won't
range.
do that.
They traditionally don't.
Yeah, they just won't do that just to get a player at that position. And other teams, of course, know that, and so they'll therefore move up ahead of the Steelers if they want to draft an inside linebacker. You could see a safety come off the board there. There's some guys there that could help, and do some things for you. Again, a lot of what you're looking for is those hybrid type guys,
right?
And you want to be able to play multiple positions and be able to do multiple things for your defense.
But that's it. That's what we have for you here on the Steelers Show. We've been talking about free agency. We got a lot more coming up with Dale and I. We're going to be talking draft, and there's going to be more players that we're breaking down here on DK Pittsburgh Sports. Be sure to stay tuned. Lots of great content coming up for you in NFL free agency, as well as the Penguins push to the playoffs and the Pirates getting ready for their season opener through spring training. From Carter and Dale Lolley, thanks for listening. Stay tuned to DK Sports Radio.